Episode 2, Trying to Fit In, High School Edition. High school, that's where the mask got heavier. For Nickey, freshman year wasn't about grades, it was about survival. New building, new faces, new rules. But the hardest part wasn't fitting in at school. It was feeling like he didn't fit in at home. His parents worked a lot, long hours, multiple jobs, doing what they had to do to survive in a new country just to keep the lights on. And in their world, putting food on the table was their way of showing love. But Nickey needed more. He needed words, hugs, time, something beyond just a roof over his head. He wasn't a bad kid, but sometimes the only time he got noticed was when he messed up at school. His achievements, invisible, but his mistakes, front and center. I spent my whole high school years feeling like a disappointment. Even days when my dad would say, "I wish I never brought you into this country." Those words cut deep. It felt like no matter what he did, he couldn't get it right, like he was always falling short. And with his parents always working, Nickey, barely a teen, was left to raise his 4 younger siblings, because he was the oldest, the responsible one, the one who couldn't fall apart. And yet, through all those years, all that pressure, not once did he hear the words, "I love you," not from his mom, not from his dad. Can you relate to that? Growing up in a home where love is measured in bills paid, but never in hugs or words. This isn't uncommon, especially in African homes, where affection is replaced by expectation, where silence gets mistaken for strength. That lack of belonging, it pushed Nickey, like it's pushed so many others, into the streets, into moments that looked like brotherhood, but smelled like survival, drugs, parties, street life, fake love, moments of escape that always ended up empty. He started looking for belonging in places that didn't require him to be perfect, just present. The block became that place. More than a hangout, it became identity. He wasn't gang affiliated, not officially, but he was close enough to get caught up and far enough that nobody could claim him. That's the thing. Sometimes the streets don't recruit you. They just recognize your pain and wrap it in false comfort. There were close calls, moments that could have changed everything, fights he didn't start, beefs he wasn't even in, guns that were pulled just to make a point. And in those moments, he'd hear it, that still, small voice. "This ain't who you are. I didn't bring you this far to lose you now." But even then, he brushed it off. Too much noise, too much pride, too much pressure to be tough, even when he was tired. Because in high school, weakness got laughed at, and feelings got folded up and thrown into lockers. So Nickey kept going, kept shape-shifting, kept trying to belong anywhere but home, until eventually he messed up so much that his father made a decision, pulled him out of school, packed a bag, and sent him to job corps, to get a GED, to learn a trade. But we'll talk more about that in the next episode. Right now, all you need to know is this: high school wasn't about fitting in. It was about surviving rejection, carrying burdens too big for a kid, and searching for love in all the wrong places. But even in all that, God was still planting seeds, even in the dirt, even in the silence, even in Nickey. He wasn't ready to bloom yet, but the roots were growing, quietly, steadily, because even when you don't know who you are, God does. And this is just one chapter in a greater journey. This is Roots to Redemption.